Good morning. It's the Call Flow Radio Show, and you're on the air.
Well, good morning, one and all, and happy Tuesday morning to you. Got a beautiful, beautiful morning. Take advantage of these next nice days. A little bit of rain coming in, but that's okay. We can deal with that. It's not the S word. As mentioned earlier, do have some special guests with me for the first part of the program. Actually, both newbies to Call Flow. Always love to have new guests and bring in here, as you have heard the ads. Of course, it is time for the newest production from the Longwood Theater Department. That coming up, opening next Wednesday, Crimes of the Heart. And I have with me Joyce Sweet, who is the director of the show, as well as one of the actors, Kate Mulligan. Good morning to you both. You're doing well this morning, I hope.
Good morning.
A little cold, but pretty good.
Not too bad. It's not too bad.
There we go.
Not for February, right?
Right.
So let's see. Joyce, let's start with you. Now, you have a background in theater, so let's introduce you a little to people here.
All right. Well, I taught for a number of years at Appomattox County High School, English and theater, and did a number of productions there. Mm-hmm. A lot of shows. Then we moved to Greene County, and I worked at William Monroe High School and directed there. I worked with the 4 county players. I worked at Blue Ridge Community College as well as Piedmont Community College. So I've done a few shows.
Just a few. just a few. And you are teaching this year. You've come in to help the theater department and teach some courses this year, and are, as they say, guest director for this year. So Crimes of the Heart, you got to choose the production. Why? Why this show?
Well, I like it. It's set in 1974, which has been a challenge because these actors don't know what 1974 is.
Yeah, they weren't around.
But I like it because the characters are very complex. They're real people. They have... they deal with some very serious situations, but it's hilariously funny. It deals with the theme of family and how much, even though they fight all the time, they love each other. And we have 3 sisters who are, to me, charming, funny, but it's a good show. I really like the show.
It's one of those wonderful shows that kind of encompasses the whole gamut. You get the humor, you get a little bit of tragedy, a little bit of dramatic. And I think it's one of those shows where it's very relatable for people. So. Mm-hmm. Like you said, they're real people. You can say, oh, yeah, that's my sister. Oh, that's my cousin, so that ties in. Mm-hmm. And now this is your first time directing with Longwood Theater?
With Longwood, yes. Uh-huh.
And how was the experience?
It's been wonderful. It's really very much a collaborative effort with, Scott Chapman the other professors have really stepped up and done their part. He's done the set and the technical, and Leslie Cook Day, she's working on the costumes, and the other students. There are 6 actors in the play, but there's so many other students that have worked tech, costume, set, and it's been a group effort, but it's been very good. They've all worked hard. My actors, I think it's been a challenge because the characters are complex, but they have done a wonderful job, in my opinion.
Well, I've always said that it's one of the hardest studies in school is theater, because you've got all the other classwork that you have to do like everybody else, but you're also rehearsals at 6 nights a week, and you're there for hours, and then you may be helping with work days of building the sets and everything else that's involved.
That's right.
And you've got to learn those lines as well as keep up all those grades and your theater classes.
Exactly.
So it is a lot. It is a lot. Now, Katie.
Yes.
So wonderful. So this is your second show? Third?
Yes,
right?
This is my second production of Longwood.
So still new, because you were just in Much Ado.
Yes.
Our show in the fall. And so what is your major? Are you a performance major?
I'm a theater education major.
Okay. So, but you really love performing, I assume. I do.
I really do love it.
Thoughts of change?
Hey, who knows?
Anything?
No, I'm really excited about theater education. I think it's really
Right.
important, and so I'm excited to go into the field.
Well, it's great to have the stage, under
The
your belt
experience,
too.
exactly.
Sure, when you're going to be teaching those kids. So, what year are you in school?
I believe I'm a junior. I'm a transfer student, so
Okay.
it's a little tricky there, but I
yeah.
think technically I'm a junior. I think
Right.
I've got one semester left, and then after that I have student teaching. after that.
Awesome. So you've kind of gotten the bug. How has this been for you? You play which sister now?
I play the eldest sister.
Okay. So how has that been for you? Obviously, a very different character from Shakespeare.
Oh yeah, very different. But I related to the character right off the bat because I am also the oldest of three.
Okay.
And the way that she interacts with her siblings is so genuine to the burden of the oldest sibling,
Right.
if you will, taking on responsibility, feeling like you need to look out for your younger siblings and protect. And so
Yeah, that motherly kind of thing the eldest sibling usually gets
Exactly.
stuck with. Yeah.
with Shakespeare, I still found ways to relate to the character as you do as an actor, but I think that this one just hits a little closer to home.
Okay. But a wonderful experience.
Oh, I love it. I'm having so much fun with this.
Now, so let's see. So have you also done I know they put the students through different, you may be acting in a show depending on what your major is, another you might be working on set work or lighting work or others. Have you had other experience now besides stage work?
I came into one of the work calls the other day, and I try to help out around the department when I can.
Yeah.
Most of my tech experience comes from the other schools that I've been to before I came here.
Right.
So I've done everything from special effects makeup to painting sets to
So you're getting the whole
to
gamut.
working sound and light boards. So I'm
Wonderful.
trying my best to be as well-rounded as possible because I think that's important for my future students.
Especially, yeah, because if you're doing a show where the kid, you've got to be overseeing all of that
Exactly.
aspect, as I'm sure
right.
Joyce is familiar with.
That's correct. Everything.
Yeah, you got to know. You got to have a little bit of hands-on all. So now, you as a transfer student, how has the Longwood experience been for you?
I absolutely love it here. What I've noticed is because I transferred from, I won't say any school names, but I came from a very big school. And so coming into a smaller theater department, it's not only do you have more opportunities, you're in a setting where I think it's just more conducive to really learning, getting that hands-on experience and getting more involved in the department. So having a bit of a smaller environment than what I'm used to has been really helpful for me. I
Yeah,
think.
more options and more
Exactly.
things that you can learn about.
I've gotten more involved. I've gotten to take on opportunities that I don't think I would have had before.
Wonderful. Sounds fantastic. Well, I'm so glad rehearsals have gone well. Looking forward to it. As I said, the show opens next Wednesday.
Right.
So it's a Wednesday night. So we've got the 15th, Thursday the 16th, Friday the 17th, and then Saturday the 18th, all at 7 p.m.
Correct.
Or you can come to Sunday the 19th. We have our 2 p.m. matinee.
Yep.
Right.
And the show is in the Main Stage Theater, which is, a lot of people always kind of get confused. Jarman is all the way at one end of campus. The Main Stage is at the other end of campus by the newest Joan of Arc statue in the building called C-Stack.
Correct.
And tickets have been on sale, selling very well.
Good. That's
So
exciting.
very good. Tickets very easily. You can purchase them online, longwoodtickets.com. Or you're welcome to come out there to the C-Stack building and purchase your tickets direct from the box office, which is open Tuesdays through Fridays from 1:30 to 5:30. So very easy for folks to get tickets and very cheap.
Right.
Very cheap. So a great show. And, of course, we'd love to see you out there at the theater. Hopefully we'll see you in a new performance as well next time around. And always happy to have you,
Thank you.
Joyce. And
Thank you.
maybe we'll get you to direct another show next year.
We'll see. We'll
Who
see.
knows? We'll never say never, right?
That's right. That's right.
I mean, we covered the basics so people know what to do and a little bit of basics about the show. Is there anything that you want to cover that maybe we haven't?
Well, I just want to. I think the actors are so good. Katie is wonderful, but all of them are just, in my opinion, outstanding. They take direction well. They are so professional. They come into rehearsal, they're ready to work, and that's just been such a pleasure to me that I've enjoyed working with them so
It makes it easy on you as a director when you've got a cast and crew that's easy to work with. And I will say, working with the kids as well, that really, they are so dedicated.
I agree.
I tell people all the time, have you been to well, I haven't been. You need to come see a show because we've got some very talented kids. I did theater for 30 years, and, they are, I would be more than happy to have performed with any of them.
Right.
I think they do an amazing job.
You're a fantastic director.
Well, thank you, Katie.
So I thank you both for taking the time to come out. Always happy to help promote the theater and promote the shows. And we'll remind folks there's an April show as well. We have our final show of the year. Will be after Crimes of the Heart is the musical. We'll talk about that when we get there. But right now, come see Crimes of the Heart. It's a brilliant show. Won the Pulitzer, nominated for a Tony. So most people, if they know a theater, I think they know the show at least by name, if nothing else.
Right.
And if you don't, it's a wonderful show. It really is. In-depth characters, some laugh out loud moments. It's a brilliant show. I have read the show and know it, but I have never had the opportunity to see it perform, so I am greatly looking forward to seeing the show.
I'm glad.
Well, I hope you'll love it, and I believe you will.
I am sure I will. I have no doubt. Thank you both again, and I will see you around campus.
Thank you for having us.
Much.
My pleasure. My guest again this morning, Joyce Sweet, director of the new Longwood show Crimes of the Heart, and Katie Mulligan, one of the actors. Just in case you missed any information, I got it for you again, and I'll be right back. Longwood Theater presents the Pulitzer-winning play Crimes of the Heart by Beth Henley. This tragicomedy relates the story of three sisters who reunited a family home. Touching on both the funny and sad aspects of the typical dysfunctional family, this Tony-nominated show is sure to please everyone. Performances are February 15th through the 18th at 7 p.m. and the 19th at 2 in the main stage. Get your tickets now at longwoodtickets.com or stop by the box office in C-Stack. Now, I'll be more than happy to sell you a ticket. All right, it is 20 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock now. Larry will be joining me in a little bit. Let's jump right in and look at our history for today. We'll start in 1857. The French court would acquit author Gustave Flaubert of obscenity for his novel Madame Bovary. 1943, the French government abruptly announced wartime rationing of shoes made of leather. Now, that was going to go into effect 2 days after they announced it, limiting customers to 3 pairs per person per year. That rationing would be lifted October of 45. 1948, General Eisenhower resigned as U.S. Army Chief of Staff, succeeded by General Omar Bradley. Then 1962... let's see. President Kennedy imposes a trade. That was the embargo on Cuba. Full trade embargo went into effect on this day. In 64, the Beatles arrive at New York's JFK International to begin their first American tour.
The year I was born.
Oh, you're not that old then.
No. See, this is getting a little disconcerting. I ask people, how old do you think I am? And I always thought I had a young-looking face. But invariably, the last 3 people are like, 60? And I'm like, oh, that hurts, man.
1971, women in Switzerland would gain the right to vote through a national referendum 12 years after a previous attempt that failed.
It still baffled me.
It took that
no
long.
avail that women weren't allowed to vote. Oh, my God.
Some countries, it really does surprise you on what you think, when? It took that long?
Yeah.
But 1984, Space Shuttle Challenger astronauts Bruce McCandless II and Robert L. Stewart went on the first untethered spacewalk. It lasted almost 6 hours.
Whoa.
Yeah. 85, U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration agent Enrique Kiki Camarena kidnapped in Guadalajara by drug traffickers. They tortured and murdered him. I remember all that going down. That was a big to-do.
It was all fun and games until then.
Yep. For somebody. I don't think it was for him. 91, Jean-Bertrand Aristide inaugurated as the first democratically elected president of Haiti. Of course, he would be overthrown by a military junta the following September. It didn't last very long. 99, Jordan's King Hussein would die of cancer at the age of 63. His eldest son, Abdullah, would ascend to the throne. 2009, a mile-wide section of ice in Lake Erie broke away from the Ohio shoreline, trapping about 135 fishermen. Some were out there for as long as 4 hours before they could be rescued.
Can you picture a mile
chunk of ice? You're hearing this, or thinking like an earthquake, and wondering what in the world is going on.
That is crazy.
Yeah. One man would fall into the water and die later of an apparent heart attack. Obviously, the cold shock. And 2014, we'll wrap up here. Sochi Olympics would open on this day, a celebration of Russia's past greatness and hopes for future glory, which we have yet to see.
I remain silent.
It's probably good. Let's see. Celebrity birthdays for today. Author Gay Talese, 91. Wow. He is a magazine, mainly magazine work for some of the great magazines. He was one of the few who back in the 60s was able to actually get a one-on-one with Sinatra. And it really kind of kicked his career big time.
Yeah, that would boost it up, wouldn't it?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see who else here. Comedy writer Robert Smigel turns 63. Actor James Spader, also 63. We were just talking about him the other week. Garth Brooks turns 61 today. David Bryan, part of the band Bon Jovi, 61 as well. Also 61, comedian and actor Eddie Izzard. Eddie, I find very funny.
Yeah.
I like Eddie. Another comedian, Chris Rock, is 58.
Wow.
Who else have we got here? A bunch of people you never heard of. Ashton Kutcher is 45. Actress Deborah Ann Wall turns 38. And, NHL center Steve Stamkos, 33 today.
I actually met John Bon Jovi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was in the studio down in L.A. He was hilarious. He was running around. He had so much energy. It was amazing. He'd just run around the studio. He'd be hitting stuff. And he's like, all right, we're ready to go.
How much coffee did you drink, man?
Yeah.
He's another one who grew up my neck of the woods of Jersey. Yeah. He and Springsteen both were from that same area.
Wow.
Let's see. Today, it is National Fettuccine Alfredo Day. So if you like pasta, there's the answer to what's for dinner.
Do you like it?
If it's done properly.
Exactly.
If it's done properly. A lot of, you go places nowadays and order fettuccine Alfredo, and it's like drowned in this super heavy white sauce, which is not what it really should taste like. But that's another. It's National Periodic Table Day.
Wow.
I love the periodic table.
Who doesn't?
If I'd have known that, I'd have had Tom Lair's song of the Elements lined up to play.
Now you know.
Now you know. And if you have never heard it, folks, go onto YouTube. Let's see. What else? It is also, and finally, because there's only 3 things, National Send a Card to a Friend Day.
I'm not very good at that sending cards stuff.
Cards?
Yeah. My sister is.
I used to be much better than I am now. You just get so crazy, and it's one of those things in the back of your head say, oh, I want to sit down and do that, and you always forget.
But the reason it's not a thing anymore is because everybody's on their phone, right? I mean, you aren't...
Well, text, yeah, it's all text messages and stuff now. But sometimes...
Yeah, it's nice to get a little piece of mail.
Yeah, sometimes a card is a little bit better, We do have some kind of follow-up to some stories we've talked about earlier. So, of course, yesterday, talking about all the Grammys Sunday. Well, it wasn't without controversy.
How could it?
Of course not. It wouldn't be the Grammys without it, right?
That's right.
So, of course, mentioned Beyonce, top honor, Well, the show ended with someone else winning Album of the Year, widely seen to honor the superstar in a marquee award, especially the night where she could and did become the most decorated artist. But it was Harry Styles who won. A line from his acceptance speech is what sparked criticism. Styles remarked that moments like that didn't happen to people like him often. Now, some people are, to me, that there's nothing in a comment like that. But there are some people who are viewing it as a verse of white privilege. And they note that Beyonce has lost that honor 4 times. And so that's why they're kind of making. I think it's more of 2 and 2 being 5. I don't see
somebody's
that.
Reaching there, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't think Harry intended anything. I read that comment, and I think there was no intent or anything there. So, really, I think that's just people trying to stir and make something out of nothing.
Exactly. Think about all the writers these days. I mean, there's strict competition in that. So
sure.
Your sensationalism really needs to come out strong to make a name for yourself.
Yeah, it's sad that that's the way, that you've nowadays you almost have to resort to mudslinging if you want to get anywhere.
Yeah, and then we complain that we can't get any real news,
right? Because
everybody's trying to make a name for themselves by sensationalizing everything.
But there are obviously people reading that
exactly.
trash.
It's nobody's fault but our own.
That's it. It's like I always think it's funny when people say, I don't know why they keep talking about, that guy or whatever, a criminal or whatever. And I'll say, you're talking about him right now. That's why people keep talking about him, because you keep talking about him.
Exactly. Right.
Don't give them the 15 minutes of fame and the story dies. It's really not that complicated. Speaking of stories that won't die, of course, former Dance with Wolves actor Nathan Chasinghorse, we had that court yesterday. He has been formally charged with 8 felonies and 2 misdemeanors. That includes sex trafficking, sexual assault, and child abuse. Las Vegas police say the 46-year-old sexually abused indigenous girls and women and ran a cult for 2 decades.
Wow.
The judge at his arraignment yesterday ordered him to return to court tomorrow for a bail hearing. Now, the judge at that time could hear from investigators, victims, and his relatives before deciding whether or not even going to grant him bail. May not grant him bail. Of course, Chasinghorse played the young Sioux tribe member Smiles a lot in Costner's film. He was arrested on the 31st of January near the North Las Vegas home that he shares with 5 wives.
Wow.
That came after a month-long investigation by Vegas police. So, yeah.
Oh, that's
not a flattering photo.
No.
Not by any means. In any case, so those, of course, are the biggies that have come about. You can give us a call if there's anything you want to talk about. 434-394-0924. But, of course, before you begin to dial that number, we've got some business to do. It is 8:31, and, of course, that means we're going to take a look at your weather. And, well, I guess we'll just call it the anniversary calendar for today, looking at the list. So, but weather first. Mostly sunny today, highs around 60 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 10, but that's just mainly through the morning. Partly cloudy this evening, lows in the low 40s. Then sunny tomorrow, highs up near 70.
Wow. Wow. Awesome.
Yeah, for February, that's, you ain't kidding. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy, lows in the mid-40s. Now, Thursday, 30% chance of some showers, that mainly coming in the afternoon. Cloudy skies, highs in the upper 60s. The wind is what's a little tricky. Looks like we're going to start out of the south about 6 to 11, increase up to 17 in the afternoon, but gusts could be as high as 28 miles an hour.
That's pretty strong.
That's pretty, That's more than hold on to your hat with.
Yeah.
Let's see. Thursday night, still 30% chance of showers. That mainly coming back in the early morning. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with lows in the low 50s and chance of rain at 50% on Friday.
Did you like to fly kite?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Loved it.
When was the last time you flew a kite?
Oh, Lord. Years. It has truly been years.
So we should do that, a WFLO, like...
kite flying?
Yeah, just a little
It would be fun.
afternoon event.
Yeah, we're going out here and going to fly kites. Come join us. I have to buy a kite.
I know.
I haven't owned a kite in years.
I left all mine in California. My son has all my kites. I mean, I've got these huge kites. So
My dad had one. He died before he ever finished it. But it was a balsa model of the Spirit of St. Louis.
Wow.
And it was actually designed to be.
we saw that. We went to the museum up there.
The Spirit of St. Louis, yeah.
Yeah. That was my son's favorite thing to see.
Oh,
He just
that was beautiful, especially looking up at it like
Yeah.
that. Current stats, humidity at 94%, barometer just a slight increase, 30.38 inches. Still no wind to worry about right now. Blue skies and sunshine, and we're looking at 28 degrees.
blue sky.
Blue sky, smiling on me before we get further. All righty. Well, you know that means time for your birthday and anniversary calendar here on The Flow for today. A short list and, well, no real birthdays, actually. Not that we know of, anyway. All right. Who we got, Larry?
It's my turn?
It's your turn.
Oh, my God.
It's all on you, man.
Can I leak this for as long as I possibly
Go
can?
for it.
Actually, on the 7th of February, we have a special anniversary with Bill and Jane Shorter. Happy anniversary, you two.
Happy anniversary to them. That is all that we know of for today. At least it's nice. We don't usually get too many anniversaries, so it's nice that we've got one on there for today. Whether it's your celebration today, and we know it or not, we hope you have a great day, birthday, anniversary, or otherwise. Remember, you want to get those names on the calendar. Very simple. Email them to birthdays@wflo.net or mail them to 217 West 3rd Street, Suite 2. That, of course, is Farmville, 23901.
And that's birthdays with an S.
With it, that's right. Do not forget the S. You forget the S, and you're going to get it back. It doesn't work without the S. Hey, we got a little business. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Stuart Wilborn, manager of the Bank of Charlotte County Loan Office in downtown Farmville. I invite you to call or come by and see me about your loan needs. Whether it's time to purchase investment property, build your dream house, expand your business, or purchase timberland or farmland, you will find old school personal assistance with attention to detail. Stop by our office at 216 North Main Street or call us at 391-1136. The Bank of Charlotte County, giving you more for your banking needs. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
All right, we are back. Of course, next Sunday, the big game, Super Bowl Sunday.
What big game is that?
I don't know. For some people, they're glued to their television sets for the day.
It's fun. Do you watch?
Super Bowl?
Yeah.
No, I don't care.
Oh, come on. Everybody's got to watch. Everybody's got something to get out of that. If it's commercial.
Well, I used to watch for the commercials, but now when I can watch all the commercials online before the game ever happens, why watch?
I wonder how much of this is, everybody else is watching. I better be and see what's
I'm sure there
going on.
were some.
Yeah.
There are some. I mean, I've been to Super Bowl party and stuff, and I don't mind. I go because it's just fun to, hang out.
Yeah.
But I don't care. It just doesn't do anything for me. It never has.
I didn't say that people had to care.
But I think a lot of them do, and very, very much so.
Yeah, religion.
Oh, Lord, you ain't kidding.
Be careful.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've got to have some cool little stats on Friday. Found some interesting information tying in directly to watchers of the bowl here in Virginia.
Oh, nice.
So we'll give you some little trivia stuff. Maybe help you win some bets.
Cool.
Of course, the hottest ticket in town for advertisers, and it is officially sold out.
Really?
Yep.
How much does it cost?
Well, Fox said yesterday that the in-game ads have all been sold. Now, of course, the game between the Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles happens this Sunday. Advertising's biggest stage, with advertisers actually jockeying to be in front of more than 100 million people.
That's it?
Yeah, that's the average for the Super Bowl is 100 million. Yeah.
That seems really low to me. I don't know.
I think, like a lot of things, politics and other big sports events, people are just getting tired and not watching like they used to. Plus, they've got a lot more options. The way streaming services are now.
You don't know who's watching where, really.
Yeah. It used to be people watch no matter what teams, and now I think more people will watch if a team they like. Otherwise, they don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mark Evans, who is the executive vice president of ads for Fox Sports, said that a few ads went for just over $7 million for 30 seconds.
Oh, my.
Now, how much of a bargain are we? Most spots go between 6 and 7 million.
Wow.
I'm sorry, that's insane. When you consider that advertising is the prime time for potty breaks and food breaks.
Yeah. But they do reach. I mean, they put a lot into their commercials.
They
too.
do. They
Millions
go
into them.
above and beyond. Of course, Anheuser-Busch still remains the biggest advertiser.
Oh, wow.
3 minutes of national airtime they bought.
They always do that.
Yep. The beverage giant gave up its deal to be exclusive this year. So this year they're not. Always in the past they were the exclusive alcohol.
Wow.
This year you will also see Heineken, Diageo, Remy Martin, Molson Coors.
Wow.
You won't just see Anheuser-Busch.
Interesting.
Other big categories include packaged foods, Doritos, M&Ms, movie studios, automakers, tech companies, streaming services. What you won't see this year that you did in years previous, cryptocurrency companies.
Why would that be?
Well, last year's Super Bowl, of course, a lot of people called the Crypto Bowl. 4 cryptocurrency companies ran splashy commercials. It was part of a larger effort by crypto companies to try and break into the mainstream. But in November, of course, the Federal Trade Exchange filed for bankruptcy, or FTX filed for bankruptcy. The founder charged by defrauding investors.
That guy, where I forgot where he was, but
yeah,
it's like,
somewhere
he's coming home. Oh, no, he's staying there. Oh, no, he's coming home.
It was a big. Of course, this year, 2 crypto advertiser commercials, they had them booked and done, and 2 were apparently, according to Evans, using his sports finagle on the 1-yard line. But once that news broke that it was the company going because of defraud, those deals obviously fell through. So.
I think GoDaddy spends their entire advertising budget on the Super Bowl.
I wouldn't be surprised because you used to see GoDaddy ads more regular, and now you hardly ever see them. $7 million for 30 seconds.
They're always a bit risque, too.
Oh, the GoDaddy ones?
Yeah.
I never thought they were that. Although most ones I remember had what's her name, the IndyCar racer. Yeah, I forget. I watched her race, but I can't remember her name now.
Yeah, don't ask me for names. That ain't going to happen.
Well, Evans did say that ads sold much earlier than normal. 90% of the ad inventory was gone by the end of last summer. Yeah. That, of course, established advertisers jockeying for the prime positions, wanting to be just before going to halftime or wherever, breaks in the quarters. The remaining spots did sell slower. Part of that was with that crypto mess that was going on. Now, last year, NBC sold out of its ad space very quickly as well. It said an undisclosed number of 30-second spots went for $7 million, which was a jump up from 2021 when it only cost $6.5 million.
Oh, what a deal.
I tell you what.
Yeah, man.
$6.5 million for 30 seconds.
I'll take that at $500,000 if you don't mind here.
I will let someone rant at me for 30 minutes for $6 million. I mean, that's just insane to me. That's absolutely insane.
Wouldn't that be great? You could actually do that. You know, there's like a store somewhere. And
sounds like a Monty Python skit.
Honey, I finally decided to do it.
I'm going in. I'm
going to
make
some money.
Make some money. I'm going in to get berated for a living. We do that now.
Oh, wait.
While we contemplate that, I got another piece of business for you.
Southside Electric Cooperative is your member-owned electric cooperative since 1937. SEC is headquartered in Crewe and serves 56,000 homes and businesses in 18 counties across Central and Southside Virginia. We have 4 district offices that are located in Alta Vista, Crewe, Dinwiddie, and Powhatan for our members' convenience. In addition to providing safe and reliable electric service, we are committed to the communities we serve. We offer a variety of programs and services for our members, as well as Cooperative Living Magazine and educational scholarships. Visit us online at www.sec.coop. SEC is a Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Oh, thank you very much for that. Well, of course, like everything, price goes up. Well, guess what? The middle seats at most U.S. movie theaters just got more expensive.
Really?
Yeah, if you thought you were paying too much already.
Yes.
AMC Theaters, the nation's largest movie theater chain, unveiled yesterday a new pricing scheme. The seat location will determine how much your ticket costs. Yeah.
So the last time you went to the movie, did they have the you actually select your seat at the box office?
No, you just get a ticket and go on in the theater.
I mean, that's how I grew up, but lately that's what's happened back east.
Well, that's what they're going to start doing across the country for AMC. Seats in the middle of the auditorium will cost $1 or $2 more. Front row slightly cheaper.
Yeah. Slightly.
Get the cricket in your neck. AMC said the pricing plan, which they dubbed Sightline, has already been rolled out in certain locations, and by the end of the year will be in place at all AMC theaters for any showing after 4 p.m. So I guess matinee, if you go to an early matinee, you don't have to worry about it.
We'll see.
Yeah. Seats classified as standard Sightline will be regular price. Now, if you want to pay less for value Sightline, you have to be a member of the AMC Stubs subscription service. There you go. How about that?
So there's a whole team coming up with this. There must have been meeting after meeting of acceptance.
They're saying nobody's coming to the theater anymore. How do we make up that revenue? Well, you lower the tickets and get people back in the theaters. And movie theaters have attempted to recover, of course, from the pandemic. Exhibitors increasingly looking at variable pricing methods, which includes more for charging for sought-after movies. So like for first week release, you pay more if you go that first week. Last weekend, Paramount Pictures partnered with theater chains to offer reduced ticket prices for their new comedy, 80 for Brady. And last year, during a dry spell in theaters, tickets at most theaters were just $3 on National Cinema Day, trying to draw people out.
Wow.
However, in most circumstances, movie tickets are more expensive, especially when you factor in if you go to see a large format screen, if you go to see a 3D showing. The average 3D premium ticket for the biggest box office hit here recently, the new Avatar, was $16.50. No wonder they're able to make a profit on the movie.
So back in California, that's the price. I mean, I'm like going, that's a deal here. I'd spend $50 easy. Me and my son, popcorn, maybe a can and a drink. $50 I just planned on spending when I went to the movies, and we did it a lot. So.
See, my investment in a home theater is looking better and better all the time. I've made my money back.
I had a home theater, but I still like going to the movies. There were theaters out there that had the big chairs. You could lean
There were
back
a couple you got to drive. You got to go to Richmond or Charlottesville. Yeah,
that was nice though.
They got there's the one up in Richmond. Eat dinner.
Yeah,
they serve you food and stuff.
Sounds nice.
Yeah,
hot dogs, hamburgers.
Oh, I think they got a whole. I think like actually meals besides, not just hamburgers and hot dogs.
You saying steak. Those aren't real meals?
Well,
I know.
Not like veggies and steak or something. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can honestly say lately there's very little film I would pay that much to go see. I can wait. Especially nowadays when I only have to wait a month and somebody's streaming it.
And there's
sometimes at the same time.
There's so much content out there. It's like you're not going to get bored or
no, not nowadays. Plus, I don't know what's going on. I honestly have to say I think we lost something. I mean, as much as we gained something, we lost something when we lost the big studios. Yes, the actors had more freedom. They weren't tied to certain contracts and could do more independent films, and that's wonderful. But you have no big studios anymore. All they are distribution centers. And that's why, for the first 3 minutes of the film, you're seeing a list of all the different studios because it took that many to pay to make the movie.
Exactly.
And so it's like, but the flash is gone. Sometimes they rely too much on CGI, to where it's just terrible.
Yeah, you almost depend. I mean, they depend on it. You expect. I mean, I expect it now. It's like anything that normally would just kind of be normal ends up being CGI. And, if it's really good and just a little here and there, it blends in. It doesn't distract. But when it's so much CGI, it's all you can focus on. For me, anyway, I can't enjoy the movie. Did you like the Avatar?
I fell asleep twice through the first one, so I gave up after that. So obviously I'm not going to see the sequel.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that coming out.
Plus, I think I like Cameron's early work.
Yes.
Everything from Titanic after, to me, has just been bombastic and overdone and overhyped. And I don't think he's that good anymore. Yeah. I think his ego's gotten into his own head, and he just doesn't make good movies anymore.
Right.
To me, Michael Bay was the same way.
Yeah.
He's another one. Early ones were really great. Now it's like we're going to churn out the same piece of candy.
A lot of people say that about Spielberg too, and
he did. I think he might finally be coming back with this new one. He did. He went through a period there of it was just churning out the junk. The only thing that was good was John Williams' music. The rest of it was just you'd look at it and you'd say, "Really? Spielberg did that?" You couldn't believe it.
And you mentioned John Williams' music. I've just heard such bad music lately on the shows. I mean, it's just terrible. Just out of tune kind of violins just to make it spooky. I don't know. I watched something last night and it was terrible on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
But not everybody can be John Williams. I mean, he is a master. Oh my God!
Geez. Yeah. I mean, it's easy to just go, it's just, but the work involved. Well, what's interesting too is that he is one of several, and I won't classify all film composers in this group, but it's people like him or Newman. Not Randy Newman, his cousin. But anyway, who put out? They are the modern equivalent to the classical composer.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
That is what you have now. You don't have classical composers anymore. But they have filled that gap, and their music fills that. It evokes that emotion, whether you see the movie or not.
Yeah. So I have this keyboard I bought years ago, and it's a professional keyboard. It's Triton Korg. But you can write just about any type of film on that. I mean, any theme you want to do. You can do strings, brass, it's all there, and it's all fantastic.
Right.
So when I was down at the University of Arizona, I was taking a class on songwriting for films and so. And it's amazing how much you can do with just synthesizers and make it sound really, really good. So, but I still enjoy doing that, putting on some of those film patches and just pretend I'm doing a race down. It's like
we're going to compose for
it's these great
write alternate soundtracks to films.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, that
we
would
can
be
have
pretty
little
cool.
like bars or something like that. People come in and have competitions on
and the public votes on.
Yeah,
I like that.
Might be onto something.
That would be pretty cool.
People just turned off the radios. Oh no,
they're not playing it now, are they? Oh God, no. We still got 9 minutes or so. If you want to give us a call, 434-394-0924.
Do you know what I'm looking forward to? Is somebody from someplace else.
Oh, outside
of even the state would be nice,
to
call
you never
in
know.
and say, "Yeah, I'm from Montana. I've been listening to you every day. You guys are awesome." That's what I expect to hear.
High hope. There you go. Well, you could be the one.
Exactly.
You could be the one. did you watch the Marvel?
Yeah.
Films?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, I've seen most of them. There's a handful here and there that I've missed out on because I don't go to the theater to see them. Like, I catch them as I catch them. Well, the Shang-Chi, was it the 9 Rings or 10 Rings? Legend of the 10 Rings was the one, 2001. Well, Simu Liu, who is, of course, best known for playing that superhero, Shang-Chi, wants everyone who attends an event at Chase Center to feel welcome, comfortable, and supported, just as he has been in the 5 months since he opened up about his challenges dealing with anxiety.
Wow.
There is the Simu Liu sensory room there. It's complete with carpeted walls, special light features, puzzles, and games that provide a quiet space for people who feel overwhelmed or overstimulated.
Perfect.
Yeah. The Chinese-Canadian actor, of course, starred in that 21 film, helped unveil the renovated room before the Golden State Warriors hosted Oklahoma City Thunder on Monday night. He said, "It's pretty neat, it's simple, and it's perfect. An incredible opportunity that has been given to fans that would ordinarily have only dreamt of coming to a place like the Chase Center because of the anxiety they might deal with."
So they just built that Chase Center, right, for the Warriors down by the
that's
docks.
the new one down there.
I saw Dave Matthews there.
Okay.
And it's a nice venue.
Yeah.
It has the worst parking situation. You cannot. They didn't build a parking garage, so you're downtown trying to find
a space?
parking. It was crazy. It was
Maybe
like,
they didn't. Did they have? I mean, building the center, was there enough room that they owned property too? They had no. They had no place to build
it. It was just sandwiched in there,
Ah,
right downtown. So it was, but it was a nice venue.
That's where the problem can come in. That's in the planning. When in the architecture and stuff, we're going to build the center. Well, you got to think about where are you going to put the people. They got to have a place to park.
Yeah. They did another thing. They built a football stadium, Levi Stadium. We went to a concert there. I think we saw Taylor Swift there. It was a good concert. Right. But we're coming, and you can't have a bag over like 4 inches by 4 inches.
Oh, yeah.
And if you have that, you have to take it over to this other really long line, stand in that, and then give your bag to a
put
person.
it in a little locker or something.
And then make it over to the... So you're waiting in 2 long lines just to get in. And this is a new, stadium. They should have figured that one out.
Yeah, the locker should be near there, so it's like, okay, just hand your bag over. I don't know.
I thought about somebody, the band.
Poor planning.
Coming in.
Poor planning.
Grabbing things.
I mean, you kind of wonder sometimes about what was the designer thinking.
Right.
Or was it too many cooks? Was it one of those kind of circumstances?
Could be.
Very well could be. Too many people get involved, and next thing you know, you have the platypus. Just strange.
Why?
Yeah, how did that come to be? The 33-year-old Lou said that it might be unfathomable for people with sensory issues to feel they could ever even come to a game, and that was this whole point of wanting to put this calming space in there.
Do you have any anxiety over that kind of stuff?
No.
Oh, wow.
No. I mean,
I think this is amazing.
I think it's brilliant because there are a lot of people who deal with it. I mean, it is my preference to sit at home and watch it with a small group or nice and quiet by myself? Yes. But there are times when an event, whether it be sporting or otherwise, can be much more enjoyable en masse.
I took my son to Disneyland probably 3-4 years ago, and he has that anxiety over
sense stimulation.
And I do too. I get overstimulated really fast. And they should have one of these there. I mean, because he was exhausted after 2 or 3 hours because of all the stimulation.
I'm kind of surprised Disney doesn't.
Maybe
that's
do.
The kind of thing they think maybe, and they just don't promote it.
Oh, man, paying for the fast track line is worth every penny plus. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah. I still remember last time I was at Disney Park was years and years and years ago, down in Florida. Mm-hmm. And the highlight for me, And of any that I ever Disney trip remembering in my entire life, Twilight Zone Tower of Terror.
Oh.
And it wasn't the ride, because the ride's short.
Yeah.
It's just a little free fall.
Oh.
It is the buildup. It was so perfect as you approach it's kind of up on a knoll, so you're walking up and you start walking through the grounds, and there's dilapidated and broken statues and weeds, and then inside the lobby's all done, and as you wander through, the line feeds you.
They're really good at that.
They did a brilliant job. That's the thing I liked about Busch Gardens. Busch Gardens did that with all the rides, basically. And
Knott's Berry Farm? Was that?
They do
that was
that?
one of the Busch Garden ones, I think.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think that really enhances the ride. But that
does.
Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, that to me was the greatest experience I've ever had in a ride, but it was the build-up.
Interesting.
It was. I wanted to go again just so I could look and spend more time. I had to, you got to keep moving because of the line. I was like, no, wait, look at the details. Look at this. Look how they did that.
They did that with
appreciating it.
Guardians of the Galaxy was like that for me.
And that's the one in California. That was the Twilight Zone. Was Twilight Zone,
was it?
And they changed it to Guardians.
It's that free fall. Is awesome.
Yep,
I love that.
Yeah, that was originally a Tower of Terror out there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That one was changed, and they've changed the one I think in Paris, Disney Paris, to something else. The one in Tokyo and Hong Kong. The original one is the one down in Orlando.
Okay. But they did that same thing. You had all the Guardians of the Galaxy characters that are coming here and there.
That's what makes the difference. And I don't know if we've made a difference or not. Hopefully we've at least enlightened your morning a little bit. John Staten is coming in here after your news and weather at 9 o'clock in just a short 30 seconds away. Larry will be back with you at 11, and I will talk with you again tomorrow morning. Don't forget it's Wednesday tomorrow, so Christine will be in with her recipe of the week here on the Call Flow Show. You'll be able to see what she's got in store. I think she was doing another Super Bowl kind of goodie for us. She had the one last week. I think she's got a different one for us coming up tomorrow, but that's all I know, and now you know as much as I do.